Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Detour with Danny Rhodes. I'm recording this here at the Chicago Laugh Factory. I am so excited that on this episode, I will be talking to the lead singer of the Go-Go's, who went on to have an amazing solo career, which included hits like Mad About You, I Get Weak, Leave a Light On, one of my personal favorites, I Feel Free, and of course, Heaven is a Place on Earth, which has bridged generations, as it's still heard in movies and popular TV shows like a recent episode of Black Mirror. Obviously, I'm talking about the amazing, the talented, the beautiful singer, musical activist, wife, mother, shoe lover, Miss Belinda Carlisle. And how are you today, Miss Carlisle? Thank you so much for doing this.
I'm absolutely wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. I always like to start these interviews with a random question, and I'm going to end with some random questions for you. So what did you have for breakfast today?
I didn't really have breakfast. I had a green smoothie, and that's it.
You did? Okay. Well, that's cool. Was it a kale?
Yeah, it had banana in it. I don't know what it was, but I get it. But it's delicious, and I do like to do this like intermittent fasting, like a few times a week. So that's just like green drinks for 16 hours, and then which I usually skip breakfast actually.
Oh, cool. Is it what makes it green? Is it like kale or spinach or both?
I think it's kale, spinach, cucumber, banana, cilantro. Yeah, it's
awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
So recently, this past Sunday, you just played a show in Chicago, and I think it's so you have so many iconic hits. And I know everyone's dying to know, because you've sang, I'm sure, these songs in front of a live audience thousands upon thousands of times. And out of all of them, from the Go-Go's to your solo hits, what one still gets you, like, your blood pumping the most and like, ooh, I can't wait for them to hear it again? You know?
Well, the two songs that come to mind is one is Summer Rain, which, I mean, it's not one of the biggest hits in this country, but I just love singing it. It's so fun. And the other one would be Mad About You.
Oh, that's my favorite.
When that bass line starts off, that bass line, everybody knows what it is. It freaks out.
Yeah, it's like that heartbeat. Yeah, it's that pulse.
Exactly. And of course, Heaven too. You know, the reaction that Heaven gets, no matter how sick I get of sick singing it. People's reaction, it makes it all worth it.
Oh, awesome. I love it. So you have a new album that's dropping later this month, right? It's called Wilder Shores.
Right.
And what inspired this album? Because I heard a cool story about it, and I want to know if it's true.
Well, what did you read, first of all?
Well, that it's based on, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, so forgive me, but it's based on Kundalini Yoga?
Kundalini Yoga.
Kundalini,
yes,
yeah.
It is, actually. Well, you know, I've been chanting really consistently for the past 15 years, I would say, a couple of years before I got sober. And it's, you know, it's a science. And I was doing Buddhist chanting. And with Kundalini, I dabbled in and out for the past 26 years. And then when I got sober, about that time I was doing my Buddhist chanting, you know, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, I started getting really into my Kundalini practice again. It was always pretty sporadic. And, you know, when I got sober, I was chanting 2 and 3 hours a day, Buddhist chanting.
Oh, wow, awesome.
Chanting, and I know its power, and it's not airy-fairy, it's actually scientific. And, you know, when you chant, you have 84 meridian points in the roof of your mouth, and your tongue hits those points, and it activates your glandular system, and it also, so it changes, you know, gives you good health, it changes your perspective on things. It's just like the most amazing effects.
Awesome.
You know, and it goes on and on. So I started, you know, with my yoga practice, learning a lot about chanting and of course becoming really familiar with the mantras. I thought, well, I want to do a chant album one day, and I attempted it about 5 or 6 years ago, and it just didn't work. So I thought, well, I'll just put it away because I am who I am, and I can't be like a yoga artist. I mean,
right.
You know, that's just not me. You know, I'm a pop singer. So I started experimenting with my songwriting partner, Gabe Lopez, and about 3 years ago, we started messing around with, I would sing melodies into my iPhone, and I would bring them into the studio, and I put some of my favorite mantras that are repetitive into a pop song format. So when you listen to the album, it's, you know, a verse, bridge, chorus, maybe a middle 8, but it's all repetitive mantra. And it also fuses Eastern instruments and Western instruments like I usually use, bass, drum, guitar, cellos, violin, sitar, tabla. So it's a really good mix of East and West, but it's absolutely a pop album. It's just, you can put it on in a room and be in the other room and think it's like a pop, a normal pop album. That when you listen closely, a lot of the mantras are in a language called Gurmukhi, which is the ancient language of the gurus. And
oh, that's incredible! That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. So I mean, so that's what it is. They're repetitive mantras. They each have a like on the track listing. They each have a definition. What generally they're about, depending. A lot of it depends on, a yoga position or a mudra, which is a position with your fingers or hands, or it could be breathing. But they all they're really, really powerful, and they're very, very effective. And I just thought to combine that with what I do could be interesting. And as it has turned out, it's like, I thought people were going to be rolling their eyeballs, but I've been doing a lot of press for it in the UK, and it's the reaction has been really, first of all, it's really fun to talk about because it's unusual, but the reaction has been really, really amazing.
Well, no, I think that is amazing, because it's kind of like, it's interesting to see someone, like you, a pop icon, come back with an album that's like still within your roots, but has something completely organic that you've learned about. Because I noticed on your Instagram, I follow you on Instagram. I noticed that you spent a lot of time in Thailand, Japan, Dubai, and actually most recently Hong Kong. And has that time spent there kind of been because of the album, or is it for fun, or is it a mixture of both?
No, I live in Thailand actually. So,
oh, I didn't know that. Okay, great.
And then it just so happens that this year I've had a lot of work around the world, and including Dubai and Hong Kong and whatnot. But I do live in Asia, and I think in its way it kind of contributes. It contributed to wanting to do this, and especially I think a big turning point in my life was, I've been going to India for years and spent a lot of time there, and I think it was like the third trip I went. It was like a turning point in my life, and that was probably about 11 years ago, and it was an experience I had during a yoga class, and where it was just too weird to really go into, but it kind of, I after that moment in that class, and it took me a couple weeks to recover from, everything changed, and this was something that was going to happen eventually, and I always knew that. And the India trip really was a turning point in my life. It changed my life since that trip. It's changed a lot. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting times. They're different than what they were 30 years ago, but they're better.
Yeah. And, interestingly enough, too, because this is kind of a double-sided question, or a double question, I guess, is I know, like, your son is such a positive force for the LGBT community out West, and you've kind of become an activist for it as well because of him. And, I just kind of wanted to know, like, what your journey with that was like, and then also why you think, I remember growing up and dancing to I Feel Free in my living room with my dad's big shirt on and my sister's pumps. And I loved it. I mean, it was like my favorite. Like, you were such an inspiration to me. And I think that what was great is that, so many strong women at the time were kind of all inspirations to the LGBT community. And I'm curious, why do you think that is?
Speaking for myself, I've always, even before I started doing this, what I do for a living, in high school, my friends have always been gay or lesbian. And in fact, 95% of my friends are gay or lesbian. And then, of course, I got into music, and that's always been pretty much a gay audience. I mean, there are straight people, but it's like a sea of gay men usually, which I think is like the best audience you can have. I don't know why, some artists have that following and some don't. Some female artists do and some don't. Maybe, I mean, since I've always had it, maybe because the Go-Go's were unusual at the time, and maybe since then, you know, I have quite a story of, you know, addiction and, you know, hot mess sort of moments. And, you know, people like a survivor. So, you know, maybe that's it too.
I think that, well, I know that's what it is for me with your story and with a lot of other stories with women in music. And I think that it's one of those things where, you know, there is like this freedom, I feel like your voice and your music gave us without maybe even you knowing it at the time. And it was just watching, you know, because people, I'm the type of person when I'm a fan of someone, like I love researching them. Even if I don't, you know, even if they're new to me or whatever, I just love the research. And, you know, I think it is one of those things where it's like, look what she's doing and what she's overcome. And it gives you this hope. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, because it was awesome. It's been an awesome.
Well, you know something, I don't even thank me, but because it's I mean, it's the least I can do for you know, the community and for, you know, my friends, and then of course my son, who, you know, I've always been a little bit of an activist, but I think since he came out, I mean, the first thing I thought of was when he was 14 was, you know, what kind of world is this going to be for him? And so, you know, just by nature of him being an activist, I've become more of a, you know, more aggressive, I guess.
Yeah, a mama lion.
Aggressive. Yeah, kind of hardcore, but I don't think there's any room to really be messing around these days. You know, that we're at a real crossroads on the planet in so many different ways. I don't think I think it's important, if you have any kind of profile, is to use your voice. And, you know, as cynical as people can be about that, you know, let them be cynical. But I know that just, you know, I just know that it can make a difference to one person. And
absolutely.
One person can make a difference to their friends. So, for their friends. So, you know, you never know where this all goes. So, it's the activism is really, really important to me. And, yeah.
That's awesome. No,
you know, I have to say a lot of it's because of him.
That's interesting too, because that was my when I came out, my mom's reaction was the same way. As she was just, it was more of a concern, not because of being gay or anything like that. It was just like how the world would treat me. But wow, he came out when he was 14. That's incredible.
He did, and then he announced it to the whole school the next day, because I told him not to just not, you know. Well, it was, you know, something. I'm backing up. This is amazing, but when we always had suspicions that he was gay. I mean, you know, it wasn't a big surprise, but it is, because he's your son. You know, it's a weird thing. So, he was coached by P-Flag. He would be on the, you know, he grew up in France, and we were living in France, and he would be on the phone with P-Flag, asking what he should say, you know, and they said to him, you always go to your mom first, you know, because you don't really know how your father was going to react. So he told me, you know, I was shocked, I have to say, even though I wasn't as surprised. And I said to him, okay, let's not tell your dad yet, because I got to figure this out. Even though my husband's totally gay friendly, it's still his only son. And with a lot of men,
absolutely,
you know, their only son is a reflection on their masculinity. So, but because I said, don't tell dad. He said, okay, mom. But he goes and he tells the whole school the next day. He announces it at like a school assembly. So everybody knew for like 2 months except my husband. You know, so he stood up in front of the whole school in the gym. You know, for like those school assemblies.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Gay. You know, and yeah, I mean, I was like, I thought it was an amazing thing to do, but you could at least wait till I told your dad. But
right.
Whatever, that's how it went. And yeah, I mean, you know, it was a very interesting time, because it took like my husband about a year to really absorb it. He thought it might be a phase, and I said, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's a phase. But,
yeah.
You know, and then they would argue back and forth about that, because my son would get angry,
Yeah.
And then they'd both be yelping, you know, talking in my ear, and I'd say, "Stop! You got to deal with it yourself." So they did, and now we can't imagine. I can't imagine having a straight son.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no way. You know?
Right.
That does not appeal to me.
We're fun. Now, your marriage. One last quick question. I'm just going to do some random questions. Is your marriage has lasted over 30 years? How? Any like one sentence of advice to people getting married nowadays? Because that's incredible. Not only in the industry, but also just in general. That's incredible. So, any words of wisdom to the married?
I think to give each other space and free rope. You know. And,
oh, that's a great answer. That's
That's what it is. I mean, honestly, he gives me we respect each other's space, and I mean, I go on trips, you know, on my own with my friends. Sometimes he'll go do something, so you know, we give each other a lot of space. And by nature of what I do, I'm away a lot. But I think that if we were together 24/7, it probably would last because we were like best friends. But you never know.
Right.
We're definitely not a traditional couple. That's for sure.
Well, that's always a good thing too. You know, whatever works. So, okay, we're going to end with this. This has been so great, and thank you for just being so candid and honest and open, and for doing this. First of all, when does Wilder Shores drop? Do we know yet?
I think it's supposed to be the 29th, but I heard they brought it forward 1 week, so I think it's September 22nd.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to ask you these quick questions, and the first thing that comes to your head, just say what you think. So, what's your favorite color?
Lavender.
What's your favorite movie? First thing that comes to your head. You can change it later.
Bicycle Thieves.
Ooh. Best handbag or purse you've ever owned?
Chanel.
All right. Favorite pair of shoes? Tuesday Shoes Day on Instagram.
Oh, now I have these really cheap glitter Birkenstocks that I got at the market in Thailand. They're super cheap, but they look like $1 million.
Oh, awesome! I think you posted those, right? I think I saw those. Yeah.
I have 4 pairs. I bought them in every color. I always go back to gold glitter.
Ah, awesome. Okay, so it's your last meal. You get an appetizer, a salad, an entree, or dessert. What appetizer do you choose?
Nachos with cheddar cheese and jalapeno. Pizza with no cheese, but lots of aubergine, arugula, and hot chili oil on the side, and lots of salt.
Ooh.
And dessert would be chocolate fudge cake, double sweet cake.
And what about that salad?
Caesar salad, vegan Caesar salad.
Ooh, awesome. Okay. And then last song you downloaded.
Oh my God, Luciano Pavarotti.
Ooh, good answers.
Yeah, I was in a real opera mood. That's the last one. The best of, it's like a double album thing.
Awesome. Well, Miss Carlisle, I am so appreciative of this. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's great talking to you. My pleasure.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you. And I will send you a link to this, and please share it at will.
Great. Perfect. Thank you so much, Danny, and take care of yourself, and maybe our paths will cross soon.
I hope so. Have a great day. I hope that knee feels better.
Oh, thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.